going to put some Daihatsu back in the Daihatsu. Alright. Sarge is back out of the shed here. Decided to start parking him in here, seeing as it's like painted and it's waiting on a couple of things to be actually watertight. But it is turbo time. Turbo on this thing's cooked. As you can see by the... Can you sort of see? See if I can shade it a bit. There you go. Maybe. Yeah, whatever. Yeah, oil's coming out of it. So it's been parked for a long time. I'm guessing the oil drained out of the seal in it, and then I've started it, which has gone metal to metal, and it's wiped it out. It was a bit funny when I first got it. It had oil in it, but the guy swore it didn't fucking leak oil. He reckoned the oil was in there because something else happened with the motor. And then I checked shaft play and that, and it was fine, so I threw it on there. So it was only like $100 when I bought it, so it's just a factory CT20. But so the recore on that was going to be about $400, or CCT turbos had an eBay sale, 10% off, and then there was some other eBay code to get another 30% off. So I got this thing for $550. I'll open him up. I'll send you with some gloves. I guess that's to prime it. New gaskets and everything. But what it is, it's a CT20, but it's high flowed and got a billet wheel in it. So, yeah, pretty. Little turbo, eh? Looks like a fucking baby compared to the one I got on my TD42 and that Patrol out the front. So, $550, and it's high flowed. It's got better oiling in there. So it made sense to me when I bought it. It's like another $150 and a better turbo. Sounds good to me. And I'll keep that one on the shelf and maybe get it recored later as a spare. I don't know. Anyway, we're going to rip the turbo off of that. I've been playing with the F10 little bit. Had to make a gasket for that auto shifter. Got the handbrake cable done, so the handbrake actually works. Little things. Now one of the tyres has snapped the valve stem off, so I've got to debead the tyre and put a new valve stem in it. But whatever. It's the way she rolls sometimes. Anyway, I'm going to fly into ripping the turbo off of that Jim Bob. It's not exactly easy. There's fucking bolts everywhere, and like it's a Hilux motor in a Scat, so it's just very tight. It's just like not a lot of room to do stuff. So get all these heat shields off, and we'll get the coolant lines off. It's a bit low on coolant anyway because there was a bung on that hose there, and it's gone, so it's leaked water out. Yeah, we'll get it off and see how we go. Hopefully this will stop its heavy breathing. It's been smoking a bit blue for a while now, but it doesn't really get fucking run all that much. It might get started and limped around the yard a bit, and I've taken it for a couple of hot laps around the block, but that's not really doing much. It barely gets up to run temp. So I thought maybe the rings hadn't seated, but when I took it down to the workshop to paint it, I was doing that burnout, and I noticed like a jet of just black oil coming out of the. It actually split the boost coupler, which is why I've got a new one. It split the boost coupler in between here and that J pipe, and there was just like a mist of just black oil just out of it, and I was like, oh, and the boost went from like fucking 12 pound to 7, and I was still on the pedal, so she hurt. Now, I'm going to start pulling parts off of this thing. Just got the intake pipe off. Can you see in there? Ish. See the end of all the edges of the turbo fins? How they're like fucked? And all of the oil out of it? Yeah, that's good. It still doesn't have that much shaft play. I did just start it and run it out, and these journal bearings, they float on a cushion of oil, obviously, so a little bit up and down's alright, but in and out's bad. That doesn't have any up or down, but it's got a fuckload of in and out, so she cooked. She fucking cooked, boys. Man down. Oh, the new fucking dump pipe gasket's sick, because the one on this one I just worked out split. Anyway, fistful more bolts, we'll get her. Alright, we're getting there. I just popped that end cover off, and it had oil particles in it. So this thing's actually blown into the water gallery somehow. So that's all bad. Interesting to note, if I haven't said it before, I made that 3-inch dump pipe. Fucking hell. Formed it all out. Back when I done this swap, no one done 3-inch dump pipes for CT20s in even Hiluxes. Like, it wasn't really a thing. So I made one. Made the flange, made fucking everything. Done the lot of it. Looks fancy. Fancy fuck. And then I reduced it down to 2.5 inch because sub 3 litre turbo diesels sound fat with no muffler and 2.5 inch stainless steel straight through. Fuck these flies off. Jesus Christ. Anyway, get this dump pipe off, get the turbo out. We'll start swapping parts over. The annoying thing is that's a relatively new turbo actuator because the previous owner of this turbo told me the actuator was faulty, so it's a brand new fucking actuator. It's never been driven on the road with it. Yeah, that's, yep. Alright, let's see if I can drop this off in one smooth fluid motion. Chances of that happening is fucking definitely not, but hey. Oof, you fell down there, bud. You got me? Yeah, you got me. Oof, okay. That's alright. I've done fucking worse with less. Put a nut on it to pin it. I'll slip the gasket in underneath there for the oil feed and return, which is a combination on the CT20, which is fucking strange. Where did I put the baggie of gaskets? There it is. Yeah, feed and return are both in the bottom. Quite strange. Oh, that's right. Fucking Toyota life, I guess. Which side's the drain on? That side, so it's going to go this way. Come on, be nice for me. Can't wait to put that on fucking backwards and have it leak everywhere. But now, I kept them two bolts separate, so I'm assuming it's these ones. Pretty sure it is. I did pre-prime this with a bit of engine oil with that funny syringe they give me. What is it going to do? Fucking anything? Probably not. And I'll disconnect the fuel cut solenoid and crank it a bit to build up a bit of oil pressure in the toy bowl, so it's not a dry start. It expressly says that if you kill the turbo because of a dry start, it's not covered under warranty. So I'm guessing a lot of people do it. Damn, it's fucking shiny as fuck in there. It's ugly. Now, watch me NASCAR this bolt and strip it. Or we could just swish it in. Okay. I'm good with either. Can you get under there? Sorta, not really. That's pretty tight. Okay, I just disconnected the fuel cut and cranked it for a fair while to get a bit of oil pressure up into it. So we're going to glow it because my fucking glow timer that I ordered ages ago hasn't turned up yet. It's probably going to cough and fart because it bleeds fucking diesel back out of the filter. The plunger on the top of the filter's fucked, but that's another thing I'll fix. just bolting all this back together and went to put the air filter intake on, and it's fucking split. So I'll put it on there for now. Another part I'll have to fucking buy. Can't. Anyway, turbo looks good. Hasn't leaked any oil or anything. Sounds fat. Yeah, I'll get that crossover pipe on and we'll give it a real run with actual boost. Oh, there we have it, all boxed up. See what she sounds like now. Sounds pretty sick. To be honest, it sounds pretty much the same as the other one, but yeah. At least it holds oil now. That's good. Be happy. I might see if I can brake boost and see what sort of boost I can get off the brake. It used to be able to get about 3 pounds, so in theory if this is high flow, I might be able to get more. I'll have a look. Alright, check this out. This is horrible for your clutch, by the way. Like 6 pounds. That's alright. Like 2 seconds of spool down on that turbo. What a fucking rig. Righto. Remember how I said it had oil in the cooling system? Just flushing it. Got a wild concoction of radiator flush, degreaser, and truck wash. Seems to be working pretty good. It's mainly pink, the same colour as the degreaser. I picked up some new Bailey channels so I can put the doors back together. That's this here. So that goes in the tracks here. Stop your windows from rattling because the stuff in this broke when I pulled it out. So that's the way she rolls, unfortunately. And then these are the seats out of it. They're actually out of a YJ Jeep Wrangler that I found dumped off a cliff. So me and my brother scaled down the cliff and then dug these out. They're leather. I obviously done the mounts to suit Scat ages ago, but they were still bolted in that truck when I was doing all the rust repairs, so they've got a lot of fucking welding grime and mould and shit on it. So I've hit it with the same degrees I just put in Sarge, and we'll let that percolate. We'll give it a brush off, and we'll be in business. Yeah. And then I get to put the windows in. There's fucking overspray on the windows. Don't know why, probably from when the previous owner painted the cunt, because I painted it with the windows out. So I can hit them with a razor blade and get all the overspray off before I can put them in. But that's alright. We're doing a few things. This is like, what is it? I think it's the 24th of December. I don't know what I'm fucking doing with my life, but whatever. Just fixing broken stuff flat out. Anyway, I'll get to scrubbing these seats and we'll see how they come up. I hope they look fucking sick before, so hopefully they come back to as good as they were. It's getting there. It's starting to look pretty clean. I'm flushing it through the surf thermostat / radiator cap hole through the Scat radiator. The surf cap's higher, so I've had the funnel in that to try and bleed the air out of it and whatnot. And yeah, I'll just keep flushing until all the bubbles come out of it, all the soap and whatnot. This did have coolant in it, but I remember I took it out to Menai for its first run and I had an issue with the charging circuit. Turns out the alternator was burning out. I didn't know that. And this thing runs thermo fan only, so I knew it was doughy on starting, so I just left it running while we were fucking around in the rock gardens with the rock crawlers and that. Old Hillfab and AJ. And we were in there for like 2 hours. I come out, this thing was like thermonuclear. It was fucking off because the thermo fan wasn't running. So I lifted out to the fucking highway and it blew a radiator hose off it, and then my mate trailered me home. We jammed as much pond water in it as we could find to try and cool it down. But then with the alternator dead, I couldn't drive it anyway because the thermo fan didn't run. So she was a trailer job, its first trip out. But that's the way she rolls sometimes. You can't plan these things. Well, I probably can. Well, it was charging when I left home. Just, I thought the battery was a bit flat, so I went, hell, I'll just jump it and we'll run it, and I'll just keep it running. Yeah, turns out, dead alternator. So now, it's got another alternator in it. That was an absolute pain in the arse. You can see the pulley, the V-belts aren't exactly right for the pulley, but it's in and it works. It went to an auto lecky to get the alternator wired in. He said he had it for a week and then said he couldn't do it and he never wanted to see the truck in his life again. So I just had to fucking do it. It was the start of learning how to do automotive wiring. It was working out what combination of 3 wires I needed for the alternator to get it charged and fucking stay in there funnel. It's been good all day. Not all day, it's probably only been an hour. I've got to watch it, I can't fill the funnel up too much, it's right above the intake, and as you can see, there's no clamps on it. So, it wants to huff a bit of water. Also, the snout for the airbox is pointing directly down there. So if I shield that and rev it up, it sucks in the fucking airbox, so that's alright. I already had it coughing and farting a little bit there, which is probably not real good, but I'm sure it's just cleaning the carbon out of the engine. We'll call it that. Yep. Anyway, I'll keep soldering on with this. Oh, I had a quick scrub of this. The base is coming up pretty good. Haven't touched that one, just done the base on that, still needs another hit, and then I've got to do all the back and everything. I might have to get a bit more of an aggressive brush, the old paint brush, she just ain't cutting it, bud. Ain't cutting mustard, I tell you. I think I've got a banister brush here somewhere. We'll rifle into it with that. And I'll probably have to bring her out in the sun, because I'll have to wet them with the hose to keep the degreaser wet. And I think they're going to come up pretty mad. This is one thing I've been dreading because I tried leather cleaner / conditioner on them once and it didn't work. I was like, fuck mate, I've stained these fucking... I'm colourblind, I'm going to say they're yellow. You can correct me in the comments whether they're yellow or brown, I don't fucking know. They look yellow to me. Anyway, I'm like, I just stained these fucking seats because I was too fucking lazy to unbolt them when I cut the roof off of this thing, and then it sat in the weather with no skin on it for fucking 4 years. But the degreaser's working. So that's alright, we're doing good. Oh, look at that clear water coming out of there, and a few little bubbles. We'll scoop them out. Get out of there. Go on, whack off. Back off. Looking pretty good. I'm pretty happy. It's all coming up Millhouse. Something's definitely going to break though. I can just feel it. Nothing. You can't have like 3 things work correctly. Something has to fail. Oh, no doubt do a fucking head gasket in this thing. We'll see. As I always say, prepare for the worst, be happy with what you get. So, the worst is that thing cracks ahead. Check that out. They come up fucking bang on. Still a few marks. There's obviously weld spatter burns in it, and then that was a bit of rusty steel on it. I don't want to scrub it all in one big hit. But that compared to that, I'm pretty happy. They were probably about that condition when I dug them out of the fucking dumped car, to tell you the truth. Barring a couple of burns here and there and marks, but pretty comfy seats. Oh yeah. Bring back memories. This is the passenger seat actually. So bringing back memories from my brother. I got a photo somewhere. We're bombing it through Appen. He wide-eyed because he just drunk Heineken back in the day. Used to do a 5 litre keg, and they were cheap. So him being broke, used to buy them and then just get fucking hammered on Heineken kegs. So pretty sure I got a photo there somewhere, and his eyes are like that big because he is pissed as Nan's mattress, just sucking down Heineken kegs. Just flip the tap over and he just drink straight out of the straw. Fucking unit, absolute unit. Anyway, I'm gonna clean the other one now. I did just find something that's going to make my job fucking easier. I've been using a banister brush and Scotch-Brite on this one. I've got a fucking cordless fucking scrubber. What a dope. Look at this fucking thing. I don't know. Well, yeah, we'll use that on the next cunt. Sarge is all flushed, ready for coolant. I don't have any coolant. I thought I did in my chemicals fucking shelving. So, fuck, I wish I had got some yesterday when I was still at work. I fucking got it on the shelf. Anyway, whatever. That's a job for another time, I think. Yep. I actually want to revise the whole cooling system on this. Go to a fan shroud with a pull fan, and then cut the mounts off the rad, and then pull the rad all the way forward so it's just behind that mesh. I'd love to run a clutch fan, but look at the clearance there, just no room. So the Blizzards that I got the driveline out of, they're the long nose. They're that front end, which is 100mm longer. Daihatsu done that when they started going to the diesels because they need a bigger radiator. And the diesel engines actually, even the Scat diesel engine's longer. So they bulked the nose of them out. So this is a 78. So similar to that, rad support and apron, and it pulls it all further back. Because these originally did have a clutch fan because it is a Hilux motor in a Daihatsu. When I went to the 78 nose, I couldn't run the clutch fan anymore. But I like that one. I like that one too. And I do still have the original nose cone for this. But I like the 78s, man. I put a jail bar on it. Actually, I do have a spare jail bar. No, we're not putting a jail bar on it. We'll get stained with the bucket grill. Because that's the original Toyota Blizzard diesel logo that I made mounts for and put in the mesh so it looks all factory. Yep. Anyway, I'm gonna go. Look at the difference in them. Like, that's like the good child, and then that's the fucking black sheep of the family. Jeez Louise. Fucking hell. I didn't think they were that dirty. Fuck off, flies. I've got this burn on my arm. I burnt the shit out of myself with my brush cutter. And the flies are just not leaving me alone. Anyway, I'm going to dig this chair out, scrub the absolute fuck out of it, and then we'll throw some Bailey channel in and I'll show you how to put the Daihatsu windows together. They're a bit tricky. Alright, we're back here with Sarge. This is a couple of days after Chrissy. Hope you guys had a fun Chrissy. I went up and caught up with the parents. My brother was away. Decided to go away with him and his very pregnant wife. So yeah, chilled out with the parents for a day. Come back down here. And I was going to do a bit yesterday, but decided to chill out on Boxing Day. Do fuck all. Actually, I played the Xbox. But that's alright. Sometimes you need a bit of time to chill out. Anyway, dug Sarge out of the shed. Still an absolute fucking champ. Watch the crank on this beach. Oh, it's going to make a liar out of me. Well, I didn't really run it for real long and backed it out of the shed, so I guess it needs another glow. What a fucking idiot. Anyway, we're going to do the Bailey channel in the doors. So, I got my 6 metres of Bailey channel. I probably went a little bit overboard. There's a good way of spending $95.85. But hey, the old stuff is fucked. I'll show you. It's in here. Don't mind the tunes playing. Got to do something with your life. There we go. Here's the old stuff. That's all split and forked. So we've got to change it, and that's what I'm doing. So I guessed 6 metres. I probably only needed 4, but if you look at the door, like the track goes all the way down to here on both sides. This section of it at the back side is actually removable. So you got to put the window in on an angle like there, and then kick it. So you need that bottom section to move out of the way. So you just undo that bolt and it sort of swings. I'll show you when I'm putting the glass in. I've still got to clean the glass up. It's covered in overspray, so, and it's got tint on it, so I don't want to damage the tint. But anyway, yeah, so I've got to cut the end square on this because old mate at Baffin's Foam and Rubber was pretty rowdy on the old scissors there. Fuck's sake. So I'll cut that square. And then we'll just start feeding it in. I'll have to scare all these spiders out of the way. Bad luck. Bad luck. Squashing the spiders. They're only here helping us. And we'll start feeding it in. I'll have to set up the tripod, I guess. Anyway, cut that off. We'll get her in. And we'll get a fucking window in this rig. Door seals are still coming. They're coming out of Malaysia. As is the seal for the fresh air vent. And the windscreen seal, I think I ordered too. But it's Malaysia, so it takes a bit of time to get here, plus COVID and Christmas break. Do they celebrate Christmas in Malaysia? I don't know. I think there's a couple dudes from Malaysia that actually subscribe to the channel. Maybe they can comment and let us know. I don't know much about over there. I know they've got a sick rainforest challenge that has a lot of Daihatsus in it. So I super want to go there and watch that because it looks fucking fun as. Anyway, I'm fucking procrastinating now, so I've got to get this Bailey channel in. Okay, we've got one clean window. Cleanish. Bit of tint on it. Anyway, so I've undone the back part of the track. I'll show you. So that part of the track there, you undo it by that bolt there, and then that lets you twist the window in. See the cutout in the heel of the window there? Yeah. Use all of that to our advantage. So I'll set you back up here. If it wants to, yep, it's going to stay. This one's a bit tricky because the mount's flared out there, but should be right. Keep going. Nice and generalised. Slide it in. Push it to the bottom of the door. Where the track's loose, and then you just pick it up like that. Like that. Now, I didn't flip my fucking ratchet back around. Did I? No. Yep. Okay. test that little guy goes up and down. Which it does. And I'll grab some more bolts and we'll bolt the window to the truck. And we'll be right. Oof, good thing, I tell you. Alright, so we've got the window track bolted in to the bottom of the window. I swapped everything out for these hex bolts because it originally had these, like Philip said, on everything, and they're notoriously hard to get out. So we've gone to flange headed M6 bolts, and now something's hitting something, so that's not good. I'm guessing that bolt right there. Yep, that one's too long. Give me a minute. And there we have it. One completed driver's side door. We've got the window felt in and the outer window rubber. That one is not off Sarge. It's off leftovers actually. Here's Sarge's ones here. One's a bit shit. So this one, they've got a metal bar in them to add support, and as you can see, that one's gone. This one's alright. It's missing a little bit at the end, but that side doesn't do much. It's just covered in green paint. So I've got a pair on this. So I'll pinch the driver's side door because this door is going to get, it's a tough truck, so this door is going to get cut in half. It'll be a half door. That'll be a full door still. I went to pinch the rubber off of that, and it's hard as a brick. It's split. So I'm going to clean all the green paint off of that one. Now, if I had time, I'd have another pair of doors plus an extra driver's door and another bonnet, but I've been pretty busy. So, plus they're like spread everywhere. One set's up the coast, the other set's like the other side orange, but that's all right. If I had that, then I could like, and they're pretty, a set, I'll just, when I get them, I'll show you, because I've got an idea for leftovers and it requires red doors, or at least a red door. So I'm getting a pair of red doors. Yeah, sick. So I'll have the cut down white door, and then I'll have probably that door cut down, and then the full doors will be red. And it's not getting painted. Like the whole car is going to look like that. Yeah, that's the idea of leftovers. Anyway, now I've got to do the passenger door. I've still got to clean the shit off the glass. As you can see, it's sitting over here. That one's not too bad. For some reason the driver's side door was worse. Don't know why. Had a lot of green on it, but I've got to get all this shit off here first anyway. See all that fucking pus. And there's a fucking wiggle in it, so I'll have to straighten that out too. But luckily this one's not too bad. It just lost a bit at the end there. But yeah, I'll get that all cleaned up. I've got the inner felt as well. That one's still good because the driver's side door one on that one's fucked. And to get it out, you have to pull the glass, and I'm not pulling that other door apart. So anyway, I'll clean this up and then put it in the truck. Yep, but I'm pretty happy with it. Come up fucking mad. It's been a while since this thing's actually had windows that go up and down. Still got to do my door cards. I haven't ordered the, I want to use like ABS sheet or HD PTFE, high density polyethylene. It's a textured stuff though. But look at that door going up. I'd probably be able to wind it better if I wasn't fucking mong on my left hand. And that's why I wanted to keep the tint on it. Yes, it does have a big scratch in the middle of the tint, but I don't care. Got to keep some of the heat out of this thing. It don't have AC. And then I've got to go through and clean all the red paint off of these, and I think I've got to order new surrounds for the handles because the ones on this were fucked. I think. Maybe. But no, it came up pretty mad. I'm super happy with it. The Bailey channel works good. The window's always rattled in this and they squeaked real bad going up and down. But now with the fresh stuff, ooh, which is a good thing. And if I wanted to, I'll take some of the drum out of the door. I might jam some sound deadener in there, maybe. But like it's fucking old Daihatsu, they rattle. Anyway, I'm going to clean. Rightio. That's the door's done. So, we're going to shut it down there. Because it's the holidays. You guys, get off YouTube. Go and fucking enjoy your family. Stop looking at me. Anyway, have fun. Enjoy your New Year's. I don't know what the fuck I'm going to do. I'll be working on more stuff. That's all I ever do. I might film it. I might not. For now, I think we're going to go out and drain the C4 on the Fairlane and cross my fingers that it might maybe have a bit of drive left in it. Yep. Anyway, you guys, keep the rubber side down. Hit the tracks, they don't hit back, and I'll catch yous out there.